We have been striving for gender equality for many years, and we still aren't where we want to be. Everybody wants to be treated equal, no matter who you are or what you do. I haven't personally experienced much gender discrimination, but I still know it exists. I don't think it's fair that people are afraid to do something because somebody might judge them. Gender discrimination has been going on for a long time, and it has definitely made tremendous strides from where it used to be. But there are still many stereotypes about men and women. Girls used to get married at the age of 13, or men can't get emotional, are both types of stereotypes. It isn't fair for anybody to be treated differently because of their gender. Even though there are steps being taken, how long is it going to take for us to realize that it's moving too slow? The first step is to understand what gender equality is all about and how it came to be. Many years ago, the roles of women were completely different from the roles of men, and nobody complained about it for a long time. It was a custom for women to stay at home with the kids and do all the cooking and cleaning while the husbands went out and worked. You rarely ever saw women working in the fields or a factory. Kim Parker, the director of social trends research at the Pew Research Center, wrote in her article, "Despite progress, women still bear heavier load than men in balancing work and family," on March 10, 2015. Women continue to bear a heavier burden when it comes to balancing work and family, despite progress in recent decades. If women are feeling a burden now, imagine what it was like hundreds of years ago. Women barely left the house. It was completely normal for the husband to get home and expect his dinner to be ready and a perfectly clean house. It also wasn't uncommon for women to get married as young as the age of 13 or 14. They usually married men that were much older than them too, and it was completely normal. You didn't see men getting married at the age of 13. Everybody learned to accept that that was just how the rules were supposed to be, and nobody tried to change it. People started to believe in the stereotypes that were given to men and women. Most people have heard about stereotypes. Examples are men don't usually get emotional, or women can't become construction workers. Some people don't feel like they can be emotional in front of others. This is mainly said about men. If a woman gets emotional, it doesn't seem weird to a lot of people, because what? They're girls? But if a boy starts to get emotional, something must be wrong. According to Planned Parenthood's What Are Gender Roles and Stereotypes article, last updated in 2019, physical appearance is a major stereotype in men and women. Women are expected to be thin and graceful, and men are supposed to be tall and muscular. Women should wear makeup, and men shouldn't have long hair. Everybody hears these, and they try to follow their stereotypes. They don't want to look different and be judged. One of the biggest gender issues that we see hundreds of years ago and today is in the workplace. On Frontiers in Psychology, Kaylin Stamarsky and Leon Sonhing from the Department of Psychology at the University of Guelph in Canada said, "Some examples of how workplace discrimination has negatively affected women is in their earnings, opportunities, and in leadership roles. In some jobs still today, women aren't getting paid as much as men do to do the exact same work that they do. Or women aren't stable or responsible enough to hold leadership roles. How are we ever going to know how a country would run our country one day unless we give them a chance? How often do you hear about a stay-at-home dad? Not that often. I'll be the first to admit that it's weird to hear about a stay-at-home dad, even though we are starting to change the stereotype. Being a stay-at-home mom sounds so much more normal. But why? Why do we put these stamps on people? There's been so much improvement on gender equality since the 1900s, but it still exists. According to the Peace Corps' Global Issues on Gender Equality and Women's Political Representation, women have fewer opportunities for economic participation and political representation. They say that guaranteeing the rights of women and giving them opportunities to reach their full potential is critical in today's society. Women and men need to go after every opportunity that they are given, and everybody should be offered the same amount of opportunities. The Sustainable Goal 5 to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls have a progress report of Goal 5 in 2018. Globally, an estimated 21% of women between the ages of 20 and 24 reported that they were married before the age of 18. This is a tremendous decrease from the 1900s, and we can still keep improving that number. The article also states that 20% of adolescent girls aged 15 to 19 said that they had been in a sexual relationship where they had experienced physical or sexual violence. That is still a pretty high number of girls that are being sexually or physically assaulted. Gender equality is something that almost all of us are striving to achieve. and most of us don't know how bad it was hundreds of years ago. The way that things have improved made the world of difference for the women and men living today. But if we keep working towards full gender equality, imagine what the next generation will think. They can look back and know that we didn't stop with good enough. We keep fighting until nobody has been judged on whether you were a stay-at-home dad or a woman that is a president of the United States one day. Stereotypes are going to be a part of everyday life, no matter what, and it's going to be hard to change it, but we have to try. Women thought the same thing when their only job was to cook and take care of children, but they decided to change it. They fought for gender equality, and we need to keep fighting. We can't let good enough be enough.